What's up, interwebs? Cthulhu the Dark One coming at you with this week's Roundtable, and unfortunately going solo this week. My partner in crime, not life partner, not that there's anything wrong with that, just saying. Mr. Bullet Marks, Tito Mega, my good friend, he has fallen ill, and quite literally, like 2 minutes ago, called me and let me know he wasn't going to be able to come over to do this. So it's just me. Luckily, there isn't much going on this week to talk about, so I think I can handle it. But I do want to say, dude, since I know you'll see this, wish you well. He's going through some problems. He has sensitive teeth, which, this is him texting me. He says hi. Even though he'll see this, so you said, time paradox! Anyway. No, he has sensitive teeth, which is probably generally not that comfortable to live with. I don't really know. Hold on a second. I'm going to shift the camera just a bit. There we go. And then on top of that, he came down with a severe sinus infection. But you don't know, your sinuses are probably next to your gums, the second closest thing, attached to your teeth. So if you have a lot of sinus problems, it can cause problems in your mouth, and especially if you have sensitive teeth. It's not good. And he's had to go through some Percocet, and he's on antibiotics. And dude, I wish you well. And I know it's got to be miserable. I, with a bad back, can sympathize constant pain and misery. That's why I'm an asshole to everybody. But anyway, so I'm flying solo this week. Trying a little bit different view. That's why I shifted the camera. I know my TV is awesome and all, but if he was here, he'd be kind of purish, so the camera would be shifted even more. But I figured the wall of toys is slightly more interesting to look at than my grandmother's china cabinet, rest her soul. So, just trying it out. If you like it better, whatever. I got like maybe 3 options of places to shoot this with, to look a little different in the background. But anyway, let's see. Going on this week, not much really. The biggest thing, the Avengers. I'll go ahead and let you know, no spoilers, so don't worry about me doing anything like that. I wouldn't dream of trying to come close to ruining that movie for anybody. I will say it rocks out loud. I think a unicorn shot out of my nerve boner. I mean, it was just fantastic. Not that the other Marvel movies were bad in any respect by themselves. Oh, excuse me. But, I mean, it's just, everything worked. They covered everything. Everybody had a good amount of screen time. They did the, why are they here? They don't get along. Now they get along. Now they fight. Blah. And none of it seemed forced. It wasn't like, it flowed really well. Great writing, just spectacular. Spectacular. I mean, it's just, go see it. I'm telling you, even if you don't even like comics, just go see it. It's an awesome, awesome movie. And do you really need the lead up of all the other ones? It wouldn't hurt. I'd say a quick hop over to Marvel Wiki, or, to kind of get filled in. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but, yeah, I believe it set a record for highest selling movie of all time, which is good, because, I believe the last one was Titanic. Not that Titanic wasn't good, but let's face it, let's have a superhero movie over a movie about a boat that sinks, that we know is going to sink the whole movie. Anyway, just saying. But yeah, it's just, wow. And I will say Mark Ruffalo taking over for Ed Norton. In retrospect, I'm not, the Incredible Hulk, the one that actually tied into the Avengers series, wasn't bad. It was definitely a lot better than the old one. Yeesh. But, I don't know. That banner and that Hulk wouldn't have really fit. I don't know how to explain it without, spoiling things. But it's just like, I will say, and you could see this in trailers and stuff, so I don't consider it a spoiler, but, they kind of went with the kind of how to put it, mongoloidish Hulk. I don't know, like, he's bigger, muscular, but it's not just like super steroid Hulk. I mean, he's bigger and muscular, and he's strong and invulnerable-ish, but he's really hunchy most of the time. He has kind of that primal feel to him, and I like that. Like, if you go back and look at some of the original Hulk comics, that's what I got from it. And it was just kind of like, I felt that they captured that really well. And another kind of stupid note, and I know it's going to sound gay as all get out. Again, nothing wrong with that. But they made no qualms about Mark Ruffalo being a hairy person. Chest, arms, and I thought it was really cool that when he hulked out, you could still see the hair. It's like in the Incredible Hulk, he didn't have it. So, I mean, it's a dumb little thing, but, just the fact that they paid that much attention. So, bravo. So yeah, that's the huge, huge thing this week. Go see it. It is spectacular. I mean, just excellent. You'll laugh. You'll choke up, if not cry. I won't even begin to even hint at the one really sad part in the movie, but you won't see it coming. And it's a definite what the fuck moment. And it's like, wow. But I actually got a couple interesting theater stories relating to Avengers for myself, which would have been really funny to have him here, because I know he'd laugh his ass off. Went to the midnight showing. The show started at 12:05 a.m. Friday morning. I was able to go in the theater and get my seats at 9:20. And of course I saved them for actually Bullet and one other friend that he was bringing. And so, whatever. My local theater has a rewards card where, after you buy so much stuff, you get like a combo of popcorn or a ticket or whatever. I had enough money to just get the ticket. So I kind of lucked out and got a good surprise that I had a free combo of a popcorn and actually 2 refillable drinks. Refillable popcorn. So, with nothing other than time, popcorn, and soda, what else am I going to do? Now, I'm not stupid. I've been going to movies forever. I factored in the soda. Once they got there, which wasn't too long after, I think they got there around 10, I was able to leave the theater without worrying about my seat getting taken. I went, and I would frequently drain the lizard and, whatever, just to make sure, because I was dead set I wasn't getting up during that movie. However, I apparently failed to factor in the popcorn, which I wasn't even really chowing down on. I mean, I was eating it consistently, but it's not like I went and dumped half of it just to refill it to get fresh for them when they got there, sort of thing. So, but anyway, long story short, we're getting this maybe about, let's say, just halfway through the movies, and it starts kicking me. Like, it's letting me know, like, yep, it's coming. I'm like, no, I'm not getting up. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit through this movie. I'm telling you. I'm sure all of us out there in internet land, especially the guys, if you're trying to be a trooper and get through something, you hold a crap so long, it just becomes unbearable, and you think you're going to die. And I was pretty much to that point. This was like an hour-and-a-half battle with my body. And it got to the point of, like, I'm either going to have to unbuckle my pants to ease the pressure, and hopefully that'll help. I'm going to get up and leave and miss part of the movie, which I was really not keen about. Or I'm going to take one for the team and be less one pair of underwear by the end of the night. As gross as that is, but it's an awesome movie. So, of course I didn't crap my pants. It was too crowded. People would notice the stink. No, I probably would have done that. So, after fighting it, I finally I looked over at Bullet. He was sitting beside me. I'm like, pay attention. So, and I got up and, like, 5-year-old running, holding my butt cheeks to the bathroom in the lobby. And, whatever. I get back, and I ended up missing a pretty cool scene. He described it to me. He did a pretty good job describing it to me. But, I still missed it. And that sucked. But, on a plus note, I did actually just get home from seeing it a second time The first time I saw it in 3D, the second time was in 2D. They didn't, I mean, it was actually shot in 2D and then converted, so you're, other than like a sense of depth for the big shots, you're really, I mean, nothing's like repulsor blast to, you know, come out at you sort of thing. But even the second time was wrought with peril, so to speak. Like I said, Set Records is definitely the movie to go see this weekend and probably the foreseeable week. And the show was at 7 o'clock. I got to the theater like 7:35, 7:40, like 20 minutes till at best. And it was packed. I needed 2 seats. Me and my buddy who went to go see it today. And it just wasn't happening. I mean, I don't even know other way to put it. Like, I generally, as a moviegoer, shoot for the middle. That definitely wasn't happening at all. So I'm like, well, just have to deal with it. You know, there were some, like, I don't know how, wherever you are in internet land, your theaters are loaded out. But basically, in most of ours around here in Virginia, you'll come in, there'll be like a, you know, walkway, and there'll be a row of seats right there on that level, and then that starts kind of the upper level of seating. And then below that, like a step down, is the front rows. And of course, like the ones off the main level are the handicap seating, you know, so they can just like park. I know that's a horrible term. I don't mean that bad, but anyway, that's just how they're set up. And it just wasn't. So it was kind of like either be way out on this corner or be really close and in the middle. So I said, well, at least we'll be in the middle. You know, we'll have to be like this the whole time. You know, when something's whizzing by. So I went and grabbed 2 seats. It was the third row in, so I'd say I was probably within 30 feet of the screen, which, you know, a lot of people watch it from that distance. If that's your thing, that's your thing. It had been a while since I'd done it. Luckily, the theater I went to has really nice reclining seats. I wasn't just like this the whole time. I mean, it wasn't uncomfortable at all. Again, like I said, it also had its miseries. I learned something at this movie-going experience, apparently about the airflow in a theater with its air conditioning. It may be different depending on how the theater is designed. Apparently, in this theater, it starts at the top and somehow maybe spirals or whatever down. Which, whatever. The problem with that is, being that close and on the ground, I'd say about every 15, 20 minutes, we would just get a gust of the amalgamated funk of everyone in the theater. I'm not trying to say everybody in there had BO or whatever. You know, you get that many people together, it's not going to be that pleasant. Just whatever, you know, it's just happens. And yeah, I mean, first time I thought my buddy farted, so I just kind of like let it go. Second time I actually leaned, I was like, dude, did you bust ass? He's like, no, dude, this is like the 4th time I smelled it. What the fuck? I was like, I don't know, man. But then I started noticing, like it would do it, and then I would literally feel the gust of air conditioning, like follow it up, and continuously follow it up until it would stop, and then you'd smell the funk, and then repeat. So, and then I described to him what had happened, and he was just like, oh, man. He's like, whatever. He's like, it still smells like ass. And I'm like, yeah, well. At the end of the day, he said the movie was well worth it. But, you know, it's like, damn. Almost shit my pants, and then had to deal with the funk of basically crapping my pants. But, still an awesome movie. Go check it out. Other than that, let's see. Actually, over on Screw Attack, their series Death Battle, they did Thor versus Raiden, and they waited for it to let it come out today, or Friday, so you could see it. So that was kind of cool. Won't spoil who wins that. ScrewAttack.com, and it's just one of their series. It's actually pretty good. Let's see, on Xbox Live Arcade, what did we get? I know we got Awesome Knots. It actually came out. Thank you. You know, whoever made that happen, letting that game come out, even though all that kind of turmoil with the publisher declaring bankruptcy and all that happened. It's great. It's basically, it's 3 versus 3. If you've ever played Team Fortress, or Monday Night Combat, or League of Legends, it's even been compared to. It's a lot like that. It's 2D, hand-drawn animation. Excuse me. Dying of thirst, sorry. And, anyway, it's 3 versus 3. Basically, you'll have waves of bots, and you gotta get past turrets to get to the base to destroy your thing. And all the while, you're fighting each other, fighting the bots, fighting the environment. And it's super, super fun. It's really good at it. It's kind of reminds me of Skullgirls in its simplicity of its design. Like, they just focused on, I say class-based. It's not necessarily you don't pick a heavy, you don't pick a, whatever. It's just the characters have their specific skill sets and their specific special moves that you can upgrade as you play. When you kill stuff, you earn money, and then when you rank up, you unlock stuff. So, and it just works. It's insanely fun. Every time I start playing it, I end up playing it for like 2 hours. Another interesting thing, it's not one of those things you can just kind of get punk wins in. The game goes until one team wins. So it's no time over victories or nothing like that. But yeah, that's really cool. And that wasn't even like the official Super Arcade game for this weekend. The thing they're doing now is called Arcade Next, where there's like 4 or 5 games that you can get 400 gamer score in now, which it was previously 2. This week, what was it? Fable Heroes. I didn't even check out the trial. I don't think Molyneux had anything to do with this one, but it carries the name of the franchise that, whatever, as far as I'm concerned, ain't worth the fucking disc it's printed on. So, bleh. From what I gather from trailers and other people telling me, it's a 3D Castle Crashers-esque thing, and that makes me even more mad because Castle Crashers is awesome, and it's like, it's got to be at least 4 years old now, and if you pay attention, like, they'll put out reports of what's played the most on Xbox Live, it's still in the top 3. So, yeah. But, whatever, it's there. And, supposedly, there's more content coming for Pinball Effects 2. We're supposed to get, it's a set of tables called the Avengers Chronicles. We get a movie Avengers table. Infinity Gauntlet, it's based on Marvel comic events. So we get the Avengers movie one. And then the other 3, I think, yeah, they're based on Marvel comic events. There's World War Hulk, Infinity Gauntlet, and Fear Itself. And I can't wait for those. I've been desperately trying to find a date. I figured they would come out this week to kind of coincide with the movie. So maybe next week. Since I guess maybe you could spoil the movie playing the table. I don't know. But yeah. Other than that, it's been a pretty slow week. If I missed anything, I apologize. I tried to, I hit up the sites before I recorded this. Nothing jumped out. Actually, no, I take that. One last thing I thought was funny. I found it, I believe, mid last week. It was regarding the new DOA. Basically, like, I don't know how long ago, but they're always giving the creators of DOA crap for objectifying women and all this. And one of the creators had a quote of like, "We don't objectify women, blah blah blah. Do you judge her by just her breasts? When you look at her, then you're just a pervert. Blah 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 blah. Our new game, we won't do it." And then they released the news of that the next DOA is going to have character-specific, clothing-specific boob physics. Think about that. I mean, honestly, from a programming standpoint, I can really appreciate it. Instead of just having one generic whatever. It makes sense. I mean, it's perverted as all get out, but, if this chick has slightly smaller boobs, they're going to wiggle a little bit different than this chick with freaking triple Ds. So I can appreciate that. And I really think it's cool that they're even going to the trouble, like, well, they're wearing this type of costume. It will restrain them. I don't know. Honestly, I think it's perverted, yes. And I guarantee you, on that whole programming team, there's probably not a single female. But I think overall it makes it more realistic, and I can appreciate that. So I just thought that was kind of funny. I think it was like mid last week when I saw that. So, but yeah. Other than that, hopefully I haven't missed anything too huge. I don't think there's any big sales or anything like that coming up. Oh, before I forget, before anybody calls me on it, Black Ops 2 was announced. Whatever, if you like it, you like it. I'm sorry, I play real shooters. I ain't got time to get killed by 5-year-old kids that learn the best spot on the map. I can't do it. I like a shooter that takes just slightly more effort, but that's just me. If you like it, you like it. I'm sure it'll sell like hotcakes, like all the other ones that are exactly the same. My main point is I saw that trailer and I'm like, it doesn't even look better. I'm like, if you can't even improve your graphics engine, I have little to no hope for your gameplay. That's just me. I look at it very critical, and I look at it as them, it's kind of coincidental they're doing it's in the future. Futuristic war. I mean, not that far in the future. And then here in a couple weeks, Ghost Recon, the future one's coming out. Coincidence? Maybe. Who knows? But definitely want to throw that out there because I'm sure somebody would have called me on not talking about Black Ops 2 or Black Plops 2. As I like to call it. But, whatever. Teach their own. That's why they make, that many different shooters, because everybody likes their little thing. I particularly don't care. So, anyway, hopefully this hasn't been too boring. Again, apologize for being solo and wish Tito Mega the best. Hopefully you feel better, dude. And until next week.